All right.
Mr. Jivan Free. Welcome to the podcast. All right. I'm so happy that you're joining me today. What a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you. Oh, brother, thank you for having me. I really
Wow.
appreciate
All the way
it.
from South Africa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cape
Now,
Town.
sweet. So, how's it going out there?
It is really beautiful here. It's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to. And we are just dealing with the business of clearing out my mother in law's estate, including um, the house, just going through everything. And so it's a long, slow process. It's been a real seva for me, real seva seva. So burning a lot of karma. It's taking a great deal of patience, but I'm super grateful. Um, I'm super grateful to be a part of this project, and hopefully it will be done soon, sooner or later. And
Excellent.
I'm
Well,
enjoying the nature here.
wow.
Oh,
So, have you gotten some time to engage in your spiritual practice at all and sing
oh
and,
yeah,
and chant?
oh yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely necessary for me. Otherwise, I
Nice.
go.
So, I mean, in my eyes, you're basically the epitome of a mantra dad. You are a
Oh,
dad, and your kids are grown up, and you've been chanting for what? How many years? 20, 30
say
years?
about 30. Yes, yes.
30 years. And
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of sitting in kirtan circles with you here on Kauai, where you really throw it down, and people really enjoy your music, as I do as well. So, sound and mantra, like, what does mantra mean to you, or what is the purpose in your mind?
Mantra, mind. Um, I forget what the exact translation is. Do you know? Mantra.
That which delivers the mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So that about sums it up right there. It's one of my favorite teachers is Amachi and the hugging saint, and she says that in this age of Kali Yuga, which you've actually just moved out of, supposedly, that chanting loudly is a way to quiet the mind and still the mind. So it's one of many different ways to still the mind. Um, I feel like it's much more than that for me. I feel like when we chant the names, we are becoming that energy or that frequency of the sounds that we're chanting. So it could be Krishna or Shiva or Durga or Lakshmi or Ganesha, or it could be peace and love and peace and love. So, whatever it is that we're focusing on, that sound, that frequency, we are, by repeating it, we are kind of tuning the brain, tuning the body, tuning the spirit, tuning it all together in oneness, in yoga, in unity, and kind of clearing out any maybe negative or disruptive or distracting energies, hopefully, by doing
Yes.
this. And
Well, that was a beautiful description, and thank you for that. So, what are some of your chants that you chant on a daily basis that tune you to that frequency of the divine?
well, that's a really good question. And one of the coolest things that I learned to do 30 years ago when I was at Kripalu Ashram was I learned the bija mantras, which are the seed sounds for the different seven major chakras. And so the first chakra, the root chakra, is Lam. So when I do my yoga practice in the morning, I'll usually start with pranams, which I get in the child pose, and I'll chant a mantra that's sort of a prayer to kind of tune up. And I'll do that for you right now if you want.
Yeah, I love that.
Sure. It goes Bolo Shri Sataguru Deva Ki Jai. Bolo Shri Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. Om Namaha Parvati Pate Hara Hara Mahadev. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Mm. Yes.
So
Mm,
that is
beautiful.
pranams. That's just sort of the and that sets the it sets my nervous system up
Mm.
for it's time to pray, it's time to relax, it's time
Yeah.
to meditate, it's time to
Mm.
dive in and let go of the mind and come back to wholeness of being. So
Mm.
I usually start with my pranams when I do my yoga, and then I usually will do the bija mantras. And I like to start at the first chakra and then move my way up with my hands and then up through the top of the head. And then I usually bring it back down again. So I
Nice.
start down at the bottom
Yep.
with Lam.
Lam.
And then up to the second chakra is Vam. Vam.
Vam.
And then up to the solar plexus, which is right below the sternum, the third chakra. The power center in that mantra is Ram.
Ram.
Yeah, and then to the heart, and the mantra is Yam.
Yam.
And then the throat, Ham.
Ham.
And then the third eye, Om.
Om.
So I like to start at the bottom and just kind of slide my way up.
All right.
I start with Lam,
Lam. Ram.
Ram,
Ram.
Ram,
Ram. Ram.
Yam,
Ram.
Ham,
Ham.
Om. And then I come back down again, opposite. Om. Ham.
Ham.
Yam.
Yam.
Ram.
Ram.
Vam.
Vam.
Lam.
Lam.
And then I like to do it kind of fast to kind of just let it all come together as one. So I'll start Lam
Lam.
Vam
Vam.
Ram
Ram.
Yam
Ram.
Ham
Ham.
Om Om Ham Yam
Yum,
Ram
rum,
Vam
lum,
Lam
lum. All right.
Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Om Om Ham Yam Ram Vam Lam.
Yes.
That's a good tune up for me. So that's
Awesome.
yeah.
I like to tune in as well when I chant. I use the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo from Kundalini Yoga. Do
Mm,
you know that one?
mm,
Yes. Can I teach you
yes.
that one real quickly?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So we chant it 3 times. And then we can bring our hands to heart center and close the eyes down and kind of gently gaze at the third eye. And it's Om Namo Gurudev Namo. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale. And inhale to chant. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om So that tunes us
Oh,
into the divine energy, the truth of all that is, and the great divine teacher that is also within us. So it's giving homage,
oh,
and then there's
oh,
also
that's
another one after that. If you really want to go go Kundalini, full Kundalini, it's Adgre Name, and that is a protection mantra. So that one goes Adgre Name, Jugatgre Name, Satgre Name, Siddhiguru Deve Name. So that one's pretty
yeah,
good too.
yeah.
Nice.
Good
So, oh
stuff.
man, I mean, I already feel so much more tuned in and alive, and like you said, your nervous system. I think that's a big factor with all of this. For the scientists out there or whoever it might be, okay, let show me the proof or whatever. Well, the proof is within the chanter, I would say, and the room if you're chanting with others. But really, there's a physical. If the nervous system is a physical thing, there is a shift, right? I mean, do you know scientifically about what's happening?
Well, I've been told that if you chant a mantra, for example, with japa, they ask you to do it 108 times, and that if you do that mantra 108 times in a row, that it um, it ignites something in the nervous system that activates a cosmic consciousness, for lack of a better term. It
Nice.
That's supposedly the magic number.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I feel that any amount of mantra is really helpful.
Hmm.
The main thing for me is that it brings me back to my heart center, and it brings me into my body, and it connects me in a prayerful way to divine source. That
Yes. Yes.
intention and
I love that
goal.
you really live this, and like you are a spiritual being, like in all of its radiance. And you've been a huge mentor for me in the music world and being able to share your heart and also your depth. And I really appreciate you in my life. So thank you.
Hmm. Oh, thank you, Adam.
And
Likewise.
you have so much
Like,
gratitude, and you walk in that gratitude, and it seems like you figured some things out about life. So I feel like the mantra is probably a big part of that. Mantras that you do chant really tune you to that frequency.
yeah.
So, and and as we transition, so to speak, to different yugas and different consciousness and dimensions, like we're going from a 3D type of template to more of like a 5D, right? Like, do you know about the shift in consciousness, and can you speak to that like on a global level or cosmic level?
Wow. Um,
Yeah, I went there.
um, I feel that there's a lot of shift that's happening, and I I don't really know how to put it into words. People say we're shifting from into the fifth dimension, that we've been three-dimensional beings. I don't. Yeah, it's hard to put it. It's
Yeah, it
hard to
is.
put it.
It's a hard question, and I feel like maybe this podcast and future podcasts could shine some light into what this 5D consciousness is that everyone's talking about. And to me, uh, the way it makes sense the best is if I see the two side by side, so to speak. So if I see one column that says 3D consciousness and one that says 5D consciousness, and let's say 3D consciousness is ego centered thinking, and then
Mm,
5D consciousness might be unity consciousness or oneness
okay.
consciousness. 3D consciousness might be lack and scarcity, versus 5D is prosperity. Another one could be um, guilt and shame, so to speak, and 5D would be like innocent, pure. Just ways of seeing and ways of tuning into the awareness of if we do want to shift, I feel like it is within each one of us to go there and thus radiates outward. So, can you speak to how tuning your energy also shifts your reality.
Oh yeah, that
Yep.
part I can
Yeah.
talk. And I really like your explanation of 3D to 5D. That is a really nice, um, for me, a simple way of kind of understanding it as the evolution of consciousness. We're trying to move into Christ consciousness, into Krishna consciousness. We're trying to move out of the ego and into a more heart-centered reality with where compassion is like high emotional intelligence.
Mm.
Okay, is a good part of it for me. And I feel that when I'm doing a lot of mantra, well, thoughts become things. So if you're thinking thoughts about peace and love, and you're thinking about unity consciousness, and you're creating sound that is manifesting that
Mm.
basically in your at the cellular level in your body.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I'm singing inside first off,
Mm.
and I feel like I'm giving my cells a massage with the
Oh, yes.
sound. And so, if I were screaming obscenities, I feel like that's doing a lot more harm than good to my cells than
Yeah.
if I'm singing loving devotional mantras. That in my experience have doing both is that life is much more wonderful. It's more rich and wonderful and lovely and beautiful and magnificent when I'm consciously singing about things or singing mantras that are for healing.
Yeah.
The intention is really important too. And I think that the intention is more important than what you're singing. So if your intention is for healing, if my intention is to radiate love and peace, then that's huge. And then I could be singing gibberish. But if that's my intention, then I feel like that's what's radiating out. Others will feel that. The trees will feel it. The water feels it. Um, and it's healing for the whole planet. It's also helping evolve the consciousness on the planet. At least I believe that's what's happening. I'm not
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I mean,
I
the
hope
proof
that's
the proof is in your life, I feel like, and you're planting these seeds of devotion into your life. Well, that will radiate into your personal life and your professional life or however you show up and however you express yourself. It is from the inside out. I believe too. So yeah, just knowing how it makes me feel on the inside is enough to kind of my reality shifts based on my inner state. And if I was really angry, I feel like I would run into a lot of angry people. But thankfully, I'm a very positive, inspiring type of guy, and that's what that's what I see as I'm looking at in the mirror of this Zoom and see you. And I was there too. I mean, I was a huge fan of Tool and Metallica and Nine Inch Nails, and I went to all those concerts. And I had sometimes more of a spiritual experience listening to a tool show than anything else I could kind of manufacture in my own until learning mantras really. And then that inner state is far surpasses any of that harshness and like almost like satanic type of things. Like we're kind of doing the opposite. It's like the purity and the innocence of God and the creativity that is imbued in the cosmos, and that's us kind of tuning to that frequency. So that's why I love to chant. And when it comes to teaching others and learning different chants and vibrational tones to awaken the body and the emotional body and the spiritual body and the heart, man, I mean, I don't know really anything else that is as easily accessible, that you don't have to pay for, that is like pays dividends honestly in life. So it's like a little spiritual savings account or something every time you chant.
it's
Cool. So
it's
who did
preventative
go ahead.
medicine. It's like a form of preventative therapy, medicine. like going out into nature, especially, is what I love to do, and just sing whatever comes up, the mantras. And if I feel like I've got a lot of maybe too much thinking going on, I'm feeling stressed or I'm feeling upset, then I'll often sing mantras that will purify, like a Durga mantra.
Mm,
Um, or if I want to get grounded, I'll sing Ganesha.
nice.
If I want to be in my heart center, I'll usually sing to Radha, Krishna. If I
Mm,
want to be in my power center, I'll sing to Sita Ram.
nice.
So these different mantras seem to activate different parts of our being, and I think that they're all names of
Sure.
um, the one love, the one heart. But they do seem to, um, these specific mantras do seem to vibrate different aspects of our being.
Yes. Yeah, and energize each portion that you would need in order to feel grounded or feel heart centered. I'm sure you know, like chakras are wheels of light, basically, right? So the sound kind of spins them. Is that true? Or I mean, it's
That's what I'm told.
hard to
I'm
measure, I guess.
I I have I have met people who say that they can see the chakras, they can
Yeah.
see the colors, they can see the forms, and they have that experience. So I personally have never seen. I don't have the visualization of. I'm not seeing those things happening, but
Mhm.
it certainly feels like something's in motion.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
probably a good
that's
thing you can't be seeing people's chakras and auras. You don't really know what's behind what people represent sometimes, but maybe you do. Yeah, like if you're in a chanting kirtan and you could see people's auras, maybe they'd be super radiant and beautiful and colorful, and their chakras would be like maybe that's what the 5D consciousness will give us, these superpowers to be able to see people's energy, and it's kind of an intimate type of X-ray vision. I know Yogi Bhajan said that he could see people's auras, and after
mm,
doing some breath work and some Kundalini yoga, that they actually started becoming a lot more radiant and beautiful. So I feel like, yeah, the great saints and sages who did have these cities, it's kind of interesting to hear their perspective.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe that that's the case. I started chanting. I was a rock and roll singer and a folk singer for my high school and college and grad school days, and then I got started traveling. I ended up at an ashram, Kripalu ashram, and I was a spiritual lifestyle trainee. And in the evenings, several times a week, they had satsang with kirtan, and I had never been exposed to it before, and it became almost instantly addictive for me. And I'm still doing it to this day. I still write original compositions that aren't mantra, that are, I mean, in a sense, they're mantra because I'm thinking of conscious lyrics that are uplifting, that are um, full of gratitude and full of love and compassion. So in that sense, I'm thinking about consciously about what I'm trying to sing about. So singing about peace and love, basically, and unity
Yes.
and healing. But there's something about being in a room full of people and you're all singing. It's like everyone's focused on that mantra and you're
Yeah.
all singing it together. And you know this, you
Yeah.
feel the energy of the room starts to get really blissful.
Yes.
And by the end of the evening, everyone is just most everyone is shining and radiant and feeling really really good, feeling cleaned out and
Definitely.
feel super happy. I mean, and and that for me is just it's the gold, it's
Totally.
priceless. creating community through sound,
Yeah, there's even a
sounding.
word for it, right? Sangit, and kirtan. There's words for this stuff like spiritual community, and yeah, when you find that or when you cultivate it, I should say, it is a piece of life that when not had, it is you're missing out. I feel like. I wanted to ask you a question. What's the difference in your mind with chanting versus singing? Is it the same, or is chanting, it's what do you think about
I feel like it's the same. I named my third CD "Chant Your Heart Open,"
that? Nice.
Volume One, and it was chants from around the world. But what I realized when I listen to it and I sing along with it now, or when I sing those songs, some of them are Sanskrit mantras and some of them are not. But I wish that I would have called that album "Singing the Rainbow" or singing the heart open, because I do. Yeah, I feel it's the same thing. But chanting kind of has a connotation that I think turns a lot of people off.
I
They
think so
think it's
too.
um, and it's so the word chant. I'm not sure where that comes from, but a cantor is someone who sings, right? They sing. It's singing prayers. Yeah, singing
Yeah, singing
prayers. I'm not
prayers, I
sure.
guess, is chanting.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure what
but also
etymology.
could be affirmations as well. I've heard a word incantation, but that kind of brings up a little like mystical kind of spell. And when you say, "Oh, I'm spelling a word," spell like you're casting a spell, right? And
Mm-hmm.
words can be very very powerful. Like think of like marketing and everything else. And this is the other brighter, lighter side of it is using your personal power to chant to change your consciousness and change your reality and how easy it is. Like the Hare Krishna mantra, for instance. I'm sure this is one of your faves. Like just
Oh yeah.
thinking about it makes me happy and blissful, And like before I even chant, and then you chant it 108 times, like you were mentioning, and like you go to sleep and you're like have these super blissful dreams. Even like the power of that mantra is like amazing. And again, like these chanting groups are seen as like cults or whatever, but you go, wait, isn't happiness kind of what we're supposed to be doing? And you look at people who are happy all the time, and people are maybe project like, oh, you shouldn't be so happy or whatever, but no, maybe you should be so happy, because like the alternative is like misery. So we might as well like you say, like align to peace. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want more love? And it's
Yeah.
just like we have the power to do that. And like I was mentioning, it's not a consumable thing. It's not something you can buy in Costco, for instance. It's something that is cultivated within your own being, and it makes you feel good. So it's
Yeah.
it's just so cool. You
And
know.
it's a practice, right? It's like it's a practice that I still haven't mastered. Um, but it's a practice. It's something I do every day to balance myself, to let go of my troubles and to be grateful for the day, grateful for all my blessings. So that practice means doing it even when you don't feel like doing it, or
Yeah.
even if I remember doing kirtan in India. I was leading kirtan, and there was one guy who used to come every time. Every
Hmm.
time he would be there, and he would be singing at the top of his lungs all the mantras. And I was so happy that he would come, and he was one of those regulars. And one time he said to me after about a year, he said, he's like, it's I'm struggling so hard. There's so much junk in my mind while I'm trying to do it, and he's like, he said, I just want to feel that happiness. He says, like, I could see that you're feeling really happy when you're chanting. And I realized that you for some of us, it's the practice is very purifying, and it brings up a lot of maybe old trauma or old emotions that are stuck, and it's a way to kind of process those emotions and integrate them. So oftentimes before a kirtan, I feel really shitty, and I know that when I go and I do the kirtan, I'm gonna feel a lot better
Yeah. Yeah, it's
in
like a
every way.
prescription. I love how you were
Yeah,
saying, yeah, if I want to feel grounded, I'll sing Ganesha. If I want to feel more love, I'll sing Rama. I That's so cool that you know these mantras so well and you know their impacts and feelings on your own being that you can prescribe yourself, a little sound here and there, and wow, the power of the word is like the first thing written in the Bible. It's just like the first thing was sound. And it's just amazing that we're able to carry ourselves through life and give ourselves what we truly need, without really, it doesn't need you don't need anybody else, although it is better when other people are also doing it.
yeah, we have a need for community. Yeah, we have a need for contribution, um, and we seem to have a need for connection. Yeah, and so not just with source within, but with other human beings. At least that's the way I perceive it. And so singing together, what a wonderful, and dancing together, what a wonderful things, gifts that we have. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
awesome. All right, do you feel like you want to share a song?
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
cool.
Now, I was thinking about it, and one of the things I really like to do is I have an app on my phone that I downloaded a couple years ago. It's called iTabla Pro, and it gives me a background drone to sing to.
Yeah,
And I like to just turn that thing on and just let whatever wants to come out come out.
nice.
So this will be a total improv, and you can
Oh,
join me.
beautiful. I'm all about that.
I'm okay. I'm gonna turn this thing on, and let's do it. Let's have some fun.
All right.
Feel good, and hopefully the sound is good here. Let's see. Is that too loud? Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, it's
How's
perfect.
that? Is that a little
Yeah, I got
better?
the good quality audio going on the Zoom call, so
Okay, cool. Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo. Jaya Ganesha, 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 Jaya Ganesha. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. 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 Hari
Jivan Free, thank you so much for sharing your heart, your soul with this world, with me, with your family. Great job being alive. You're superior man walking in your truth and your light. Thank you so much for being alive and for coming on the podcast. And
Thank you, Adam. Namaste. Thank you, brother, for
namaste.
having this podcast. Thank you for
Yeah,
doing this. What a
yeah.
brilliant, amazing topic. I'm looking forward to tuning into all of the episodes. So
Yes.
how do we get to the episodes?
We're going to go to YouTube and search for
Okay.
Mantra Dad.
Montreal. All right.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes. You are the excellence of a Mantra Dad in living form. So,
Oh, thank you, brother.
yeah.
I try. I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, and when you're on Kauai, you're also at Center for Spiritual Living as well, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Usually when I get back to Kauai after I usually call the Center for Spiritual Living and tell them, "Hey, I'm back." And sooner or later they have me back in there as the musical director. And that's a really wonderful, uplifting community gathering that happens every Sunday morning at 9. Yeah, 9 till 10:15 usually.
Yes.
That's and they're also they live stream, so if you don't feel like getting up out of bed, and you can always find them. CSL Kauai, Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. That's a
Yeah,
good
so
one.
we can see a lot of your music performances there as well, right?
Yeah,
All of
yeah.
them, probably.
Well,
Great. And
there's been a few.
are you on Spotify, or how would people find your music, or iTunes?
Yes, yes. Look me up on Spotify or iTunes. It's Jivan, Jivan, and if you there's many different Jivans now that are I noticed that are on Spotify and
Impersonators.
iTunes.
Who wouldn't want to be
Oh,
like
they're
you?
not a no, no, they're not impersonators. They're doing their own thing, and
Good.
it's all good. It's just you want to look for if you type in Jivan artist, you'll see my picture, or if you just type in Jivan, if you type in one of the names of one of my CDs, like Chant Your Heart Open, boom, you're there. Or Bhajan Ananda is another
Nice.
CD.
Oh, I can't
That's
wait.
all
I
kirtan.
actually haven't checked you out on
Oh
Spotify, so
yeah,
I'm stoked.
yeah. Check
Nice.
out Bhajan Ananda and Chant Your Heart Open
Nice.
and enjoy. Yeah.
Nice. I'm also on Spotify. On
You are.
yeah, you're gonna want to look up add value, AD value.
Add value. Okay, cool.
And
Cool, cool,
I
cool.
have 3 or 4 kind of freestyle just songs that kind of came through with some good music in the background. And I just put a song that I did with Denise called Sat Nam, The Grace Within You. So
Oh,
that's a
cool.
new one on there. And we are
Sweet.
in the making of a 10-song Kundalini Yoga chanting album, of which we
Go.
have at
Yes.
least 5 or 6, pretty much done. They need some work, but my goal is to have it out by April 18th, which is my birthday. So I'm crunching.
Wow.
I'm crunching,
Cool.
but
Go, brother.
it's
Go.
coming. It's birthing. It's been a long time in the making, and so happy to have the talent with some guitarists and some vocalists other than myself to help along. And
Awesome.
man, it's just a beautiful vision coming to life. So you helped me with
Sweet.
that. I was sitting with a
Sweet.
men's in a men's group with you, and you were like, "Yeah, I want to bring out my next album." I'm like, "Fucking Jivan." I was like, "I want to bring out my next album, my
Yeah.
first album, I should say." I was like, "I want to
Yes.
know what that feels like to go to Spotify and see something that I put time and effort and love into." So can you talk a little bit about what it's
Amazing.
like to create your own music and put it out there for others to listen free,
Yeah.
basically? Like wow, what a feeling!
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's just sharing that healing energy, sharing a healing gift, and that meets my need for contribution to my community.
Nice.
It's very sweet. I love it when every at the end of the year, Spotify will your Spotify for artists. They'll give you a lowdown of all the different countries people listen to your music,
Wow,
and all the different playlists, and yeah, with
cool.
all the different, you can track how many times the song has been listened to, and um, it feels pretty amazing when you look and see that, oh my God, my song has been listened to in 59 countries. And,
Wow,
um, this year I somehow, one of my songs got onto over 600 playlists
wow.
that are being shared. And that is really cool. I'm
Yeah,
super stoked.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Thank you. And I'm not doing anything. You can do things to market it, but I haven't really done anything except just sing and just put it out there. And then, it kind of moves itself. I know that there's ways that people, you can market it, but even without doing that, it just feels so good to share it. So
Yeah.
I'm stoked that you're doing it. Way to go, brother.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
birthing inside of me, so why not go with it? I have plenty of time,
Yeah.
and my creativity has been kind of off the charts lately, so I just need to transmute that into something, productive to the world in some way, and it just feels good to listen to my own music, like you were saying. Like, man, that's so cool that so many people listen to yours. That's really inspiring to me. I aspire to have 59 countries listening to my stuff one day. That's so
I was
cool.
like, what?
Wow,
Yeah.
man, yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
the reach, and like you're just planting seeds of divinity everywhere, in the world, and
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Doing your part.
And the funny thing is that even if you didn't put it out there, it's still reaching the whole universe, right?
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
The vibrations are still going out there. So, I love chanting when I'm in the garden, and I feel like it really helps the plants.
Mm,
And I feel like it's going out there. Even though people might not realize it, they're feeling those good vibes, and
yeah,
hopefully it's uplifting them.
for sure. I believe that. No doubt about that.
Maybe if we all chant, if we all sing these mantras, then the consciousness, we will shift into a more full 5D consciousness. And that's my hope and prayer.
Oh, there's no doubt
Um,
about it. I mean, it's for sure happening. And yeah, it starts with you. If it's to be, it's up to me.
right on,
Yeah,
right
that's a good
on.
mantra right there.
Yeah, it's a good mantra.
Well, Jivan, thanks again for coming. And when you're coming back to Kauai?
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm on a mission here in South Africa right now, and super busy. And hopefully we'll be getting back to the mainland to help out my daughter. She's moving from LA to Seattle, and she's doing a lot of music. And she's got some opportunities up in Seattle. So I'm hoping to get back to Kauai sometime
Yeah,
late
doesn't
spring,
seem like
early
it's on your
summer.
doesn't seem like it's on your main
I
spoken.
I would love to get back there. I actually recorded my Jaya Ganesha, my reggae Jaya Ganesha
Oh,
chant. Right before I left, I had Kaya Abendroth came and played trumpet and flugelhorn
oh yeah.
on it. And it's just fantastic, but it's back there on my recorder. It's not on my computer with me.
Ah,
So I can't even touch it right now.
oh,
So I'm looking forward to getting back to Kauai to get my hands on that recorder. I have a multi-tracker,
sweet.
and then complete one or two CDs
Nice.
in quarantine.
Good, I like it.
Because, yeah, if I got 10-day quarantine, what better
Well,
thing
yeah,
to
you can
do
get
than
real
to.
creative in 10 days for sure. Wow. All right, this has been such a blessing. Uh, I'll say uh I'll say aloha, and
Aloha.
what is a great mantra to say goodbye or to wish us well? Do you know one?
Oh, I think Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Shanti,
Hari Om,
Shanti,
Hari Om,
Shanti,
Hari Om.
peace.
Awesome. Jivan, have a
Yeah.
great day and hope to see you back here soon.
Thank you, my good brother Adam. Blessings to you and the family.
Yes.
And blessings on all of your creativity,
Awesome.
your
I'll keep you posted.
birthings. Thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah, I'll tune in. Aloha.